you're well. Hope you had a great Saturday. Hope you enjoyed the fresh air and the sun that I believe we all got from the looks of things. Now, we had some fan mail. We had some fan mail on the channel, so let's get straight to that. Let's get straight to the fan mail. So, it's from a gentleman called TR News. So, I'm sure that must mean Tommy Robin, your son, News, right? So, he's put here, very eloquently, and I'm going to try and do his voice now. Fakeress, listen to yourself, you're an absolute nut job. And why do you have loads of saved videos and photos of Tommy, you absolute creep? Okay, TR News, so yeah, Fakeress, yeah. A lot of the stuff is faked. Do you know why? Because that way you control it yourself. You plan it, you stage it yourself. You don't leave anything to chance. Yeah? Nigel Lawson said nothing happens without our hand in it. Right? So, I'm an absolute nut job. Okay, but you're the one who is worshipping someone who, as you can see in this photo, stands on an Israeli tank. But I'm the nut job. So you're English and you're worshipping someone whose loyalty is to Israel, not England. But I'm the nut job. Okay, mate. Okay. And then you put here as well. And why do you have loads of saved videos? I haven't got any saved videos, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Have you heard of YouTube? Things are stored there. I don't have to download everything, my friend. There are sources available online. I mean, I don't know where you live, like when you got the internet and whatever, but yeah. So he says, why do you have loads of saved videos and photos? I haven't got loads of saved photos. What I've got is downloaded photos that I can arrange to prove a point. Do you understand? It's called evidence. It's called research. I don't know if you do that on your channel. Probably not. So yeah, that's what I do, my friend. I save the photos so I can arrange them in order and tell people about what I see. I mean, I don't really get what your problem is, my friend. I mean, that's what sort of journalism and research is about getting sources and going through them, you dickhead. Yeah, and also what I like to do is I like to get these photos and make really funny pictures of your leader that you worship, because I know it drives you insane. And then he ends it by saying, you absolute creep. I'm not the creep. I'm not the one who stands on Israeli tanks. Yeah? I'm not the one who has altercations in broad daylight constantly. I'm not the one who has fake arrests. I'm not the one who tries to stoke up racial hatred and the civil war. So I'm not a creep. If anything, you're the creep because you're worshipping this person, you absolute idiot. Yeah? But thanks for your comment, TR News. And you know what I got from it all in summary was that basically you want me to do more photos of him, more memes. So here you go. Look, that's him. That's his new kids range clothes. So during the lockdown, because we don't have much money, you can get clothes for your kid, and it looks good on Tommy Robin, your son, as well. Look at him in his little 3-piece waistcoat. Ah, bless his little Zionist socks. Be a good boy for mummy, Tommy. Tiny Tom. You ready for your fake arrest, Tiny Tom? And you worship this guy. Ah! What a dickhead. Anyway, let's get serious, right? Enough of our fan mail and grown men worshipping a Zionist. Anyway. So, US election 2020, Biden has beaten Trump to become president. What happens next? So, this is all a bit crazy to me because I never thought he would have had a chance. It's probably all pre-written. The thing is, it's all just mind control and distraction. Probably people making loads of money off bets. to do with who wins, who doesn't win, and etc. etc. But it's not over yet, I gather. But yeah, it looks like basically they're going to say that it's him, and then Trump is going to try and fight it. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think there's a lot more that we don't know about. So I'm not going to sort of pretend that I know everything that's going on here. Now, what we've got here, now this one is crazy, everyone. Alright, so sit down, right? So what they're trying to say here is that there is a kebab shop, right? And a customer pulled out a gun. Why? Why did he pull out a gun? Oh, because he was told to wear a face mask. Alright, so he was told to wear a face mask, and instead of saying like I would, well mate, I'm exempt, my brother. If you want, I'll show you a screenshot that shows you legally I don't have to wear one, and you're not even supposed to ask me. But no, what this gentleman did was supposedly take out a shooter. But you know what I thought as soon as I saw this, within 5 seconds of reading this, I thought, oh yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's nothing fake to try and tie people who refuse to wear a mask as violent thugs and criminals, is it? No, of course not. And then let's read what they say that he said, right? So the owner says, he was saying things like he was Jesus and that Bill Gates wants us microchipped and they all want us controlled and all things like that. So that was just a perfect description of what he said. He was saying things like he was Jesus and that Bill Gates wants us microchipped and they all want us controlled and all things like that. Well, I believe everything apart from the fact that the guy said he was Jesus, but like I said, it's all a load of bollocks, right? It's just to make us look like thugs and criminals, and that we're not reasonable people when we resort to violence if we're confronted about not wearing a mask. So basically, if you don't wear a mask, you're a psycho, you're violent, yeah? And you break the law. That's basically what they want you to take from this story. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't believe it for 1 second. Yeah, like I said, it's not the normal reaction of someone who's consciously aware to pull out a gun. That makes you know better than the people that you supposedly oppose, you idiot. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I don't believe this, right? I don't believe it. But nevertheless, very interesting. So is this. So it says here, people should be paid to have a CV jab so the country reaches herd immunity as quickly as possible, a leading ethicist has suggested. Professor Julian Savulescu from the University of Oxford said incentives would help to overcome rising VACCINE hesitancy due to perceived safety concerns. So what he's saying is, if you bang them some money, right, if you bang them a few quid, they won't care that it's not safe. Because they'll be able to get a Pizza Hut takeaway or get their Netflix extended for another month, innit? Forget the VACCINE not being safe. We got 10 quid or whatever it is. Mate, come on, this is just like ridiculous now, yeah? It says here, right? People could either be given a financial inducement to have the jab, or they could be paid in kind, perhaps foregoing the need to wear a face mask in public. Oh, how nice of you. They just want you to not have to wear the mask. That's what it is. So if you have the VACCINE, you don't have to wear a mask. But no, forget that we forget that it's not safe. Remember, we're either going to pay you or you don't have to wear a mask. And forget that it's not safe. Forget that. Put that under the carpet. You don't have to wear a mask, or you get money for your Pizza Hut takeaway, or your 4 cans of Stella Artois, or whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? I just think that is so funny, man. But then someone who disagrees with him said, paying people to get VACCINATED would set a very dangerous precedent. If we did this, people will expect it for other... Yeah. So that is just, to me, it's just, what a joke. And then it, on the same kind of theme, you got this, right? So bribery, more bribery. So young people who are told to isolate should be offered free mobile data and gaming, says Sage. So forget that you're not supposedly not allowed to see anyone or be near anyone or touch anyone or breathe the same air as anyone. That's fine, because you're getting free data. Oh my god, who thought that reading the news would be so funny? You don't need sitcoms like Cheers and The Office and Only Fools and Horses. You've got news during lockdown. BAFTA winning comedy. Banter. Young people told to isolate should be offered free mobile data and gaming. So little Steve, he's not going to see anyone for 2 weeks or whatever a week. It doesn't matter because he's got free mobile data. Oh yeah, winning cash back of the net. Oh goodness me, and it gets even worse. Look, Blitz spirit. So they're saying that basically that Liverpool has the spirit of the Blitz. It has the spirit of being under attack during World War II. Why? Oh, because hundreds are queuing in Liverpool for their quick CV tests. So queuing for a test that is really inaccurate is the same as being under attack in World War II. Oh, of course it is. It's not mind control at all, is it? It's not trying to make out like you're some heroes if you do. Oh dear. So yeah, they're saying that basically if hundreds of you queue for a CV test, that basically you're showing the same spirit as World War II. People who suffered in World War II. What a load of crap. And then it gets worse. So the mayor of Liverpool, who lost his brother to CV, did he or did his brother pass away of something else? But they use that as an excuse. And because he's the mayor, it holds more clout, and then he can say, oh, well, I take this very personally because my brother, blah, blah, blah. Do you see what I mean? It's all mind control. And look what he says. He likens the fight against the virus to a war. It does exist. It is here. And we're using the army to fight a different battle. I want people to ignore the conspiracy theorists. Excuse me? So why are you talking about conspiracy theorists, man? If your truth was so true, you shouldn't need to worry about what other people say, because the truth will out. So why are you making a very public effort to tell people to ignore anything that doesn't go with the official narrative? Is it because that's what you're there to do as a gatekeeper? Yeah? As I tweet... No, let's try a Scouse accent, right. As I tweet about what's going on here, my timeline fills up with comments like the more testing, the more false positives, the more cases, that wasn't Scouse. The longer we're in lockdown. And others that wouldn't be decent to print. Oh dear. Depressing. Then you got Greece, even worse. Police have been checking people's movement permits. So residents in Greece will need to obtain permission before leaving their homes as the country's second lockdown comes into force. So, similar to measures adopted during the first lockdown, people will be required to send a text message to a 5-digit number providing their name, address, and the reason why they need to leave their house. So, if you want to leave your house, you've got to ask permission. Because you're not an adult anymore. Your freedom's been taken away and you have to ask permission if you're allowed to leave your house now. Deep breath, inhale, exhale. Yeah? So you have to ask permission to leave your house if you're in Greece right now. Is that a dictatorship or not? Yes, I think it bloody well is, don't you? Greeks will be required to obtain a permit in order to leave home, and they must carry it and their ID with them when they do so. Yeah. Oh dear. And then, like we were saying, you got this now, where you got loads of people telling Trump to get out now, get out now. So it's just tension, unrest, hassle, stress, negativity, yeah. And then you got this. Help! I'm trying to stay sane. Trapped in a tiny quarantine room for 14 days after arriving in Australia. So you know he's trapped in a tiny quarantine room for 14 days. And what pictures do they show? Oh, they just show like sort of humorous photos, yeah. As if, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You can just work on your physical fitness. Twat. Pathetic, mate. So he goes, my wife Claire and I are locked away in a small room, just 9 paces by 4, with a guard outside to make sure we don't come out. We're not allowed visitors, and lukewarm meals are delivered in brown paper bags 3 times a day. We're not in jail, though it might sound like it. Honestly. But we're enduring a fairly extreme form of lockdown in Australia. So he's just basically making light of it, you know. What a dickhead. Oh dear. I mean, how many people now, how many celebrities have caught it now? And now you got the Yorkshire Ripper, 74, test positive in prison after returning from hospital. So even the evilest of men, the Yorkshire Ripper, even he is a victim of the CV. So that just shows you, doesn't it? If it can catch up with the evil man, it can catch up with you, Rodney. Yeah? So shut up, put your face covering on and get indoors. So yeah. A president refusing to walk and smearing the election as a fraud. Gun sales are soaring. A nation at boiling point. America faces its greatest peril since the Civil War. And then in the pictures you got a dude here with a pitchfork. You got someone burning an American flag and you got some idiot with a face shield screaming. Oh my God, America, please stop it now. We look to you to be some kind of land of hope and land of the free and brave, right? No one's free in America right now. You're free to argue and hate one another. That's the freedom you got. Yeah? Please, America, wake up. There's so many good people in America. Please wake up. Please band together and just tell these people to sort their lives out. They're getting distracted big time. Look at you, Boris, you absolute mug. Look at you with your face covering. You look like a broken man. You look like you'd fall over in a small gust of wind. You frail, vulnerable scum. That's what you look like. New World Order scum. Unhealthy piece of shit. Britons could be told to self-quarantine for 2 weeks in January as the price of spending time with relatives at Christmas. Sage papers suggest. So if you want to have a nice Christmas, well, you might have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks in January. Oh, really? And how are you going to police that, knobhead? How are you going to police that? 33 million in Britain. Okay, let's say half of them only celebrate Christmas. That's still 15 million. So how are you going to make sure 15 million are self-quarantined for 2 weeks, dickhead? The only way you could do it is by literally track and tracing everyone, having 24-hour surveillance, cameras everywhere. Yeah? So, again, how are you going to do that, idiot Johnson? And then this was in Brighton. No, this was in Hull. And this was before a sort of protest, sort of speaking thing happened. And you can already see this guy sort of having a chat with the police. Well, you also saw him later on interrupting one of the speakers, and then he got taken away by the police. I don't know who this dude is, but obviously he's got bad intentions. And then we got this message here from Mr. Tyrant Finder. So, I should be able to do a Bristol accent because I grew up around that area. So, I really have to start questioning your motives. Have you been to any of these protests? I have, and over a week, listened to what you've said about these people, and I can see that you're completely wrong on every level. Come get to know these people, you might actually see you're wrong. Please don't say that if people film this they can sleep at night. I'll happily debate you on this. Tyrant Finder, I replied to your message within 4 minutes of you leaving it. You still haven't replied to it. Right, let's just analyse what you said. So you're questioning my motives. So my motives are very clear. You go on my channel, it says unite the people to fight the evil. It's very simple, isn't it? It's very simple. That's what my motive is. To get as many people united and then direct them at the right enemy, which is the elite and the people who serve the elite. Okay? So that's what my motives are. Then he says, have you been to any of these protests? No, I haven't. Does that mean I'm not allowed to speak about it? So if something happens in China, because I'm not in China, does that mean that I'm not entitled to speak about what happens in China? It doesn't, does it? It might mean that the people in China know more than I do, but it doesn't mean that I'm not physically or literally or legally allowed to speak about what happens in China. So therefore, the protest is the same. Just because I haven't been doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on. I've probably spent more time researching the footage of all these protests than you guys have actually spent there. Yeah? So think about that, what you will. But yeah, remember this. I encourage people to go to protests, right? I always have done. The only one I didn't encourage them to go to was the one that you in Subject Access were very keen to sort of big up. And that was the one that happened on Thursday. And I'm sorry, but I don't know why you're endorsing a march that starts at night time. Okay, I don't know why you would ever do that. So it was dark before it even started, so it already has a horrible atmosphere to it. And what it means is more cowardly protest infiltrators and actors can go about their work because it's dark and it's easier to hide in the dark than it is in the light. Yeah. So what we do as truthers, we illuminate the shadows and stop these people working in the dark. Okay. So he says here, I have and over week, I don't know what that means. Listen to what you said about these people, right? What people? Grey Bleeder, Pavlov? If you're trying to defend Grey Bleeder and Pavlov, then I don't know what to say, Tyrant Finder, because you already admitted that Grey Bleeder has a sodding earpiece in his ear, right? Yeah? So why is a protester walking around with a sodding earpiece in his ear? Why has he been trying to discredit the truth movement for over a year? Why is he so close to Piers Corbyn? It's basically so that every time that any photos or footage is taken, this guy is in the way and he gives a really bad impression. Okay? I've seen Pavlov be an actor for a year at least, and he's still active. So again, I don't know who you're trying to defend, okay? Every person that I've exposed, the reason I've exposed them is because it's been bloody easy to do it, because they've been reused over and over and over again. So, and then you say, I can say that you are completely wrong on every level. Well, what level? And what every level? Well, what? Name specific. So are you defending Grey Bleeder? Are you defending Pavlov? I know you're defending that dude with the plaster, but I'm sorry, mate. That you got no legs to stand on there either. It's very obvious who that guy is, yeah? He's pretending like he's some protester. He's not. Okay? I've seen his photos. I've seen who he is tied to, alright? And I've seen his actions. His actions are to provoke the police, to make out that he's some kind of protester, to then fake injuries. For God's sake, he was walking around with a bandage like he's in World War II. Sod off, man. And then you said, please don't say that if people film this, can they sleep at night? Well, the footage that I'm talking about, Tyrant Finder, you didn't even film. So I wasn't even talking about you, right? It was Rupley, and Rupley zoomed in to the face of Pavlov and Grey Bleeder. So that's who I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, because that's the footage that I was specifically referring to. But anyway, I don't need to debate you on anything, Tyrant Finder, mate. I don't. I've researched this, spent hours and hours. It's pretty blatantly obvious to everyone. It's not just me. All you got to do is go through the comments on my channel. There's probably about 1,000 comments to do with all these crisis actors in total, yeah? Because loads of my videos get like 100 comments, 50 comments, blah, blah, blah. So there's probably about 1,000 comments of people agreeing with what I'm saying, okay? Because I don't say things unless I got proof, all right? And this guy is not a hero, so I don't know why anyone wants to tie themselves to this guy, all right? His ties are to Israel, which is provable fact, okay? Okay. So, I think I've done what I can do to sort of back up my my theories. I've enjoyed the fan mail. I've enjoyed being challenged. Look, whoever wants to challenge me, that's fine, bring it on, because all it does is help me clarify everything. It helps me sharpen my skill set. So by all means, if you think I'm wrong, challenge me, and I pretty much expect to prove you wrong, because like I said, I don't claim anything unless I have a lot of proof. Okay, so let's summarize what we've seen. Oh, wait. No. Got one more picture. Yeah. Right, we'll come back to that. So what we've got here is we've got this guy here who pulls out a gun when he's told to wear a mask, so it makes us look like violent criminals. We've got them suggesting that the jab could be incentivized by people getting paid, or they could have the pleasure of not wearing a face covering. Yay! Win-win! And then you got young people given free mobile data and gaming if they're isolating. Yay! Don't get to see your loved ones or your friends or your girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever. No, that's fine, because you got free mobile data. And then Liverpool queuing to get a test means that they are absorbing and channeling the same spirits as World War II. And then the Liverpool mayor tells you, I want people to ignore the conspiracy theorists. And then Greek people need to ask for permission to leave the house, because they're not adults anymore, all right? And then, yeah, even Yorkshire Ripper gets CV. Britons can be told to self-quarantine after they've stuffed themselves with Christmas dinner for 2 weeks. Yeah? Brilliant. All right, my friends. It's been a pleasure, as always, bringing you these very important pieces of news. I think it's very important that we study the mainstream media, because that is what their tool is to influence and mind control. So therefore we need to know what they're doing and try and counter that as much as we possibly can. All right. So to leave it on a positive note, we could look like this. That's what we could look like. So I see it as a positive that none of us in my room, on my channel, are going to be looking like this prick. I mean, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with these people? So he thinks, but because it's clear, that it's less scary. Well, no. What it looks like to me is that you got some kind of problem with biting people, and you've had that put on you because you're a biter. That's what it looks like to me. You look like Hannibal Lecter, mate. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. If I saw myself looking like that in the mirror, I don't know how long I would want to keep going, if you see what I mean. So, we could look like this guy. We don't. So, I think that's a positive, yeah, because he looks like a dick. Simple as that. All right? And over what? A virus, a virus that is 99.9 recovery rate. Yeah. Okay, people. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Thanks for all the comments that you've been putting today, including all the fan mail that I got from people who worship Tiny Tom. Tiny Tom, it's me, Tiny Tom, the Zionist. I'm about to get fake arrested, yay! Anyway, take care, brothers and sisters. Much love to all of you. No new normal. Unite the people to fight the evil. This has been Overkill, and we are over and out. Peace.